Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Almost mindless, Doctor. They seem to attack primarily as a reflex action. It's clear now.
I like the consistency that, like, Sulu's like the second guy to have the tricorder whenever Spock's not around. There's been a couple episodes like that.
Looks like they're getting ready to go on a trip.
But where? To what purpose?
Probably to another planet?
To take over the
The
galaxy.
number of ships indicates a mass migration.
Agmar said they were a peaceful people.
Could have been lying.
Could be the disease Caniculus accidentally brought here swept the planet before they could do whatever they were going to do.
That's a good theory.
Let's hope we can be as persuasive as Caniculus.
So they're just gonna try to change their mind.
Oh! I thought he was going to give him a Kirk speech.
He put a plant in a chokehold.
We must have Spock back.
I do not think that is possible. The Vulcan-human blend of wisdom, sense of order, is the finest the Master has ever found.
Oh, it's because he's a Vulcan and a human. Okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Once we had a great mission. Then disease decimated us.
What was the mission?
Our spore cells have been destroyed. There will be no more of our kind. You are worried about your friend. I will show you he is safe and in good hands.
Just like that, Captain?
So it would appear, Mr. Sulu.
Because this is a little bit too easy.
The way is through here, gentlemen.
And y'all are going underground.
We sprang from the soil, Captain. These tunnels were once part of our home. This will serve to illuminate our way.
Beautiful.
No wonder we couldn't find Spock. The walls are 600 times denser than lead.
Ooh, wow.
The surface force field.
Did you hear something?
What?
I'm not sure. Agmar.
Use the belt lights.
They don't operate. Agmar!
Did you just get tricked by him again, you dumb bastards?
Run! We've got to find some light. Don't stop. Try to stay together.
I had a feeling they were up to something.
Jim, up ahead.
I see it. I see it. Keep going.
Oh.
He's dying.
What?
Something's happened to his brain. Electrical activity decreasing.
In a few minutes, your friend will be gone. But as Caniculus I lives on in each of his clones, so will Mr. Spock. Behold, gentlemen, the dawning of a new era, the salvation of a galaxy. Spock 2.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
A huge Spock.
I can see why they saved this one for the animated scene.
It's pesticide time.
We brought the only thing that could take him down. COVID.
The chemical sprayer is empty.
Mine too, Jim.
What is this stuff? Am I going to die? There's a small chance.
Well, how about that? Great-granddaddy's weed spray still works.
Kirk to
You're
Enterprise.
too far underground.
No,
Nothing. Must be these blasted walls again.
it has to be.
He'll be dead in a few minutes. His mind is gone.
There's a way to get him back. There's always alternatives.
Just as my predecessor transferred his knowledge to me through this apparatus, I have done that with Mr. Spock and the first of his clones.
You talk about creating life with your clones, but you have to murder to do it. Come on.
And
He had nothing to say.
Out of my way, mister. That's an order.
I don't think he understands. His mind is still trying to assimilate all the knowledge it's been fed.
Yeah, and he didn't look too happy.
It's no use, Mr. Scott. I can't get through.
Except for environmental systems, I want the entire power load of the ship redirected into a tight beam transmission.
Mr. Scott, you're risking a total drain of our dilithium crystals.
Well, so be it.
Spock, What is the logic in letting a man die for the sake of creating his duplicate?
There isn't any.
I think new Spock is going to help him out. Spock 2.0.
All power sources locked in, Mr. Scott.
Then throw the switch, Lieutenant. He will be the beginning of a master race.
That's our ship calling, Spock. You answer them.
I'm sure we're getting through, but they're not acknowledging.
Keep trying.
Mr. Scott, we're near the drain point on the dilithium crystals now. Our reserves...
Keep trying.
The dilithium crystals, oh no.
Like there wasn't enough going on.
It's gonna work.
Commander Spock here.
Oh, thank heaven. I had the library computer check out all known writings by Caniclius. There is a recurring theme in his later essays about using his master race as a peacekeeping force throughout the galaxy.
Like the Jedi?
So the point of this was peace?
There's been peace in the Federation for over 100 years.
That is a lie.
Well, how would you know?
I was about to say, do you get out much?
What of the depredations of the Romulans, the Klingons, and the Kazinti?
Kazinti. That's new.
You're the fifth Caniculus. What makes you so sure what you believe is truth, isn't just old news?
Right. I keep forgetting he's the fifth.
But why do you agree with his plan of a super race?
Exactly.
Disease struck us before we could carry out our own plan to impose peace on a galaxy that knew none.
We already have peace in the Federation. It wasn't imposed. It was agreed upon.
Yes.
Reverse the effects of that machine and let us take him.
Please do.
Spock's almost gone.
If you have Spock's mind, you know the Vulcan symbol called the Idic.
Infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Could an army of Spocks impose peace on any other beings in defiance of the Idic concept?
I do not believe so.
Reverse the machine, Caniculus.
No,
So one of them needs to do it.
our dream must not be allowed to die.
What?
Oh,
What?
Murderer! You've killed Spock!
May I suggest a more constructive way?
Yes, please do.
My mind
oh, he's gonna mind meld
duh.
himself.
Oh, duh.
to your
Of
mind,
course, he can just
My
transfer
thoughts.
it back.
to your thoughts.
Perfect. Again, I keep forgetting.
Vulcan mind touch.
Thanks, Sulu.
I am pleasantly surprised at your capacity for deductive reasoning, Captain. And you needn't worry, Captain Kirk, about a master race.
But what of my work? If the times I feared are gone, what is to become of me?
Become a productive member of society.
There appears to be no reason why I should continue to exist.
Get a hobby.
I would suggest Dr. Caniclius remain on Phylos with my duplicate. The considered
Good
efforts of both scientists may yet achieve a rebirth of the Philosian civilization and enable them to contribute to the Federation.
Perfect. Give them a purpose.
My thoughts exactly, Mr. Spock. So one might assume, Mr. Spock.
How does that sound to you, Caniculus? To bring life is at least as important as bringing peace.
I would be honored.
Great.
I'll report your work here. I think the Federation will understand. By the way, Mr. Sulu, any chance of teaching me that body throw? Could come in handy sometime.
I don't know, sir. It isn't just physical, you know. You have to be inscrutable.
Inscrutable? Sulu, you're the most scrutable man I know.
Jesus. All right.
So in canon, there's a planet where this giant Caniculus guy and this giant Spock guy are working, you know, providing info for the Federation to help, like, life.
I guess so. Yeah, I really like this episode. One of the more sci-fi concepts, not only for this show, but for Star Trek as a whole so far. With these giant creatures, the aliens, the, you know, plant that poisons you, everything about it was very sci-fi, and I definitely dug it. My favorite thing, though, was seeing the giant Spock and the normal Spock at the end interact with each other. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, as if they're talking as if they're not the same person or same mind. They're talking to each other as if they're two different entities. It's like, you're the same person.
Yeah.
And how he just put himself back in that body, but the original one still exists. I'm like, oh, that's neat. That's weird. Great episode written by Chekhov. That's insane. And like I said, this episode, you can tell this is what they wanted it to be back in 68, 69, but it's like, we can't have, you know, an alien looks like, we don't even have CGI or practical effects are extremely limited.
Yeah.
So it's like they just went all out. It's like, what if we had this planet look like this? What if we had these giant purple dragons and plant men and a giant Spock?
Yeah, that's probably the thing I appreciate the most about the show so far, is that it really hasn't held back.
So I guess this means there's a giant Spock out there somewhere. That's a somewhat disturbing thought. It's also fun when they have dilithium crystal references. You would think they would keep a lot more of them on board as spares, because this seems to happen a lot, but I guess because they're so rare, they can't afford to just have them sitting around. I don't know, if I were a Starfleet captain, I would make sure that I had tons of dilithium crystals. Overall, this was a really interesting concept, but I didn't really feel like it drew me in. I'm not sure why. It was still an excellent episode, don't get me wrong. It just isn't among my favorites. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. Maybe it's because they only had half an hour, and if they had had an hour, they could have done a little bit more of a complex story.
So it's very nice that Mr. Spock's duplicate is going to stay back and they're going to work together to help out the planet. I love that. This was done very, very well. I will say, because I kept thinking to myself, what the heck are they going to do to Mr. Spock to bring him back? And the fact that the duplicate did the Vulcan mind technique, I'm just sitting here like, I keep forgetting. I really do. I can remember a Vulcan pinch in a heartbeat, but this, no, it catches me off guard every single time. So eventually I'm going to, throw it out there, and hopefully I'm right one time, like, okay, yes, I finally caught on to it. Shout out to Walter. He did an excellent job writing this one. And I do like that we get that little bit of suspense on the Enterprise with the communications and the dilithium crystals. That was nice. Let me tell y'all something. Scotty catches it in these episodes, but you know what? He loves what he does, just as everyone else in the episodes. So that's always nice to see.